Hey y'all, Savannah here. I'm going to talk to you today about the basic how to use essential oils. Alright, so in the previous video we covered what are essential oils, so if you haven't watched that, go find that. Should be somewhere close by, even though I'm not sure if I'm putting this video over here, but I digress. If you want to know what essential oils are in a more like broader standpoint, or that we covered some other things too in that video, go check that out. This one is about how to basically use them. So there are 3 different ways to use essential oils, and that's topically, internally, and diffusing. Okay, so what that means, topically is when you use it on your skin. I cannot use oils topically. I had pups really bad when I was pregnant with my daughter, which is a skin condition that's terrible, absolutely terrible, and it has left me with skin so impossibly sensitive that nothing can touch it. But I'm weird in many ways, so make sure if you're gonna use them topically, on most people it's all right. On most people aren't sensitive to it. Some people are. I'm one of them. Dilute it with a carrier oil, and you can use a carrier oil of fractionated coconut oil, regular coconut oil works, almond oil, avocado oil, really any kind of oil that is okay to put on the skin. Like you wouldn't want to do vegetable oil because that clogs pores and that's not good. Your pores need to breathe. And if you're allergic to tree nuts, I have run across this a few times, people being allergic to tree nuts, then avocado oil is a great one for you. I think. Is that a tree nut? Avocado's not a tree nut, right? Well, anyway, mineral oil is a safe bet, and so is olive oil. Yes, but do your research on that. If you're allergic to nut butters, or nut butters, tree nuts, then look into that. Just make sure you're wary of it. But anyway, I digress. doTERRA, which is who I'm with, and I covered earlier that I don't care who you're with, but as long as you're getting it from a good, pure source. Important, so important, y'all, so important. Please know what you're putting in your body. Essential oils are not always essential oils. In a nutshell, I'm not trying to like cover the same thing in multiple videos, but it's so important. But anyway, doTERRA makes a lotion that's really good. I love it. It's a base lotion, so it doesn't have like any scent to it or whatever. And you put like just a drop. It doesn't take much at all. It covers a wide space. So like you put a little bit of lotion in your hand, and then you just put 1 or 2 drops. 1 to 2. Okay, 1 to 2. Don't go overboard with it at all. Less is more always when speaking of essential oils. On top of the lotion, then you just rub it in wherever you want, and it kind of, it dilutes it so that it's not so strong. And you especially want to do that with children and the elderly because they tend to have more sensitive skin than the folks in the middle, unless you're like me and you also have sensitive skin, and that's okay too. But anyway, moving on. There are certain points that are also really good to put oils, okay? The basic, bottom line, generic, what you would do with oils topically is you'd put them on your wrist, on your chest area, on the back of your neck, the bottoms of your feet, or if you had a specific ailment, like a headache, for example, you would put it on your head where it hurts. So, or if you had joint pain, you would put it on the joint that hurt. You know, put it where it hurts. If you have a stomach ache, you put it on your stomach. So it's really intuitive on that kind of scale. But there are also reflexology points, and I know a lot of people have heard of reflexology. There are certain points in your feet and hands, okay? It works both ways, your feet and your hands, Mostly your feet though, I think. I don't know, like, I haven't read a ton into that, like the difference if it matters, but I do know that there are reflex points in your hands as well that affect certain parts of your body. For example, I know some reflexology on the feet. I'm new to the hand stuff. Okay, that one surprised me very recently. But for an example, I'm not saying I'm correct at all. I'm probably not. I'm just for example purposes. If you put lavender oil, say here, it goes to a specific organ in your body. In a nutshell, is how reflexology works. So, I know the base point right under your toes, like on the bottom of your feet, where your toes meet your foot, where they're connected, like that little area right there, is good for sleeping, right? So if you have insomnia, you want to put lavender oil right there and it'll help you sleep better. That kind of thing. But there's you would need a chart to keep up with it, which I've been meaning to print one out. But anyway, there's that. And then there's also places in your ear that do the same thing, but it's not called reflexology. It's called auricular points. Auricular points. And side note, there's this thing called like seed therapy or something, and they put these like little pinpoint seeds, or like itty bitty balls, and they tape them to places in your ear, and it's like pressure points, kind of, and to do certain things to your body. That was really cool to me. I found that in my research on things. But anyway, so you can put them in certain points in your ears too, but of course you would need, for the feet, hands, or ears, you would need like a little chart that showed you where each one is located that goes to an organ or point or whatever. All right, so that's topically diffusing oils. It's you need a diffuser for it. And a diffuser is, I don't have one in immediate around me to show you what it is, but they're like these little bowl thingies with a cone type thing on the top, and you take the cone thing off and you fill it with water to a certain point, and then you add like 3 drops of the oil that you want to diffuse, and then it you put the top back on, you turn it on, and it puts it into the air. And all diffusers are not created the same. There are some diffusers that are wonderful, and like you can smell it from across the room and you really know it's working. And there are other diffusers that you're like, I have not smelled this since I turned it on. Is it actually working? I see the smoke vapor stuff coming out the top, but I'm just not feeling it. I feel like, yeah. Some diffusers are absolute crap. So, it's kind of like it's no way to really tell unless you do some research on it and pick one. It's pretty much always safe to get a diffuser from a reliable source, and what I mean is one of those 3 companies that I told you, Young Living, doTERRA, or Mountain Rose. I don't really know about Mountain Rose diffusers, but I know the other 2 have really good ones, and I would assume that Mountain Rose does as well, but I don't know anything about that. So yeah, just know that that's a thing. And but anyway, what diffusing does is it works with aromatherapy. And aromatherapy is where it's basically the smell of the oil. And it is, but it's not. Okay, so there's 2 ways of going about the diffusing on how you're trying to get it to affect you, and we're just going to go for one, and then we'll catch the other in a sec. Okay, so on the aromatherapy side of things, which also might fall into the other side, but anyway, it affects the olfactory system, which is your smell, your sense of smell, and your amygdala, which is a center. Your amygdala is a center of, or the center of emotions in your brain. Okay, it's what affects your mood and your emotions and all of that stuff. And smelling essential oils, since it's all the olfactory system and connected to smell, directly affects the amygdala. And this is why essential oils are really beneficial and useful for, what's the word? I'm looking. Affecting your mood. Yeah. That's why essential oils make you happy. That's why essential oils make you sleepy, I guess. Is that a mood? I don't know. But that's why they can have a lot of effect on anxiety, stress, depression, bad moods, mood swings. They can help like balance you out a little bit. Depending on which one you do, which one you diffuse. Relaxed, calming, all of these emotions that I'm naming off. You know what emotions are. And essential oils affect them and help them be better. You know, there's no oils that are going to make you sad. You know what I mean? But anyway, so there's that. Diffusing and the sense of smell. Diffusing also sends out particles of the oil, because when you smell things, what you're actually smelling are pieces of whatever it is that you're smelling, you know? So, that's why when you smell a candle, you're actually smelling chemicals that come from the candle. Like pieces of the chemicals that smell are entering your body through your nose, and probably your skin and stuff too if it's in the air. And that's affecting you and whatnot. So that's why it's also really important to make sure that your fragrance, smell good stuff that you got going on in your house are all natural and non-toxic, because a lot of candles are toxic. And that's why you'll notice a lot of people are sensitive to smells, and they can't have candles or smell good things in their house because it gives them headaches, and it just irritates their bodily functions, right? And that's because they're toxins. They're breathing in these like really bad things that people use to make the candles and the smell good stuff with. And so yeah, get rid of all of that, and not to scare you, but it's a thing. And oils are a healthy alternative to that. So pieces and particles of the oil are going into your body and affecting the things where they need to be affected and helped, and yada yada. That was the other side that I couldn't so it's smell and particles, like the actual them. And then our third way is internally. You can take essential oils internally by cooking with them. You can put them in your drinks. Only certain ones. I'm getting to that part. Don't listen to half of this and say, okay, I'm gonna go drink some oils. Be sure you know how to do it and which ones are safe and which ones are not. I brought some examples I'll show you in a second. But you can use them to cook with. You can put them in your drinks. You can, doTERRA sells, sorry y'all, I don't know anything about Young Living or Mountain Rose things because I only deal in doTERRA, so I can't help you with that. But I know doTERRA has veggie capsules. I've actually seen them at Sprouts too, y'all. I've seen them at Sprouts too, which is a Whole Foods type grocery store that we have. So it's your local health foods thing. They might have them also, veggie capsules. But they're only like $5 on doTERRA, so like they're not much at all. And you can just open them up. They're like little pill capsules with the, 2 insides and stuff. And you open them up and you put whatever oils you need to put in there, and then close it back up, and you just take it like a pill. That's it. And it breaks apart in your stomach, and that way, for people who are sensitive to tastes and whatnot, I know some people in my family won't do essential oils any other way because they don't like, you know, the taste of peppermint or whatever. Which some of them for sure are an acquired taste at best. But the way you tell, I got some examples right here. The way you tell which ones are safe and which ones are not, if you don't know, because, you know, there's so many out there, y'all. There's so many oils out there that I don't expect you, and you shouldn't expect yourself to know everything about every single oil. Okay, it's unrealistic. I've been doing this for, gosh, 4 years? 4 years? Yeah, I think so. I'm like terrible with time management. Not time management, time perception. But anyway, I've been doing this for a long time, and I don't know anything. I don't know everything about every oil. And one of my partners, she's been doing this for like 10 plus years, y'all, and she doesn't know everything about new oils. And as soon as we learn things about most of the oils, they add new ones. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Start with 1 or 2, and then go from there. Learn as you go. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. Okay, overwhelm is a lot with all of this because there are so many, but don't let it overwhelm you. Anyway, that's my inspiration talk for y'all. So I have 2 oils right here. One can be ingested and one cannot. I know Young Living does theirs differently than this. I don't know about Mountain Rose, but I know Young Living has theirs color coded. That's the extent of my knowledge on that. I know theirs is color coded. So just, this is for doTERRA. doTERRA, let's see. Okay, so this is lemon. And if you go around here, you see it's got a supplements facts thing on the back. It's upside down. Sorry, it's backwards on to me too. So supplement facts. Okay, if it's got a supplement facts thing, then you are good to go on ingesting. This one, TerraShield, which is it's bug spray, basically. Outdoor blend. It does not have one. See? It does not have one. See? So, lemon, good to go. TerraShield, not good to go. Don't drink this. And that's how you tell that apart. So it's really simple. It's really, yeah, it's easy enough to figure out. Of course, you know, kids are different. Kids are always different. Elderly can sometimes be different. Sometimes. So just make sure you know what you're doing. If you're going to use it on your kid, make sure you ask somebody who knows what they're talking about or look it up yourself. If you're going to use it on yourself, and you're just a regular aged person, like in the middle of kid and elderly, then you're probably alright to ingest it unless you have like some weird allergies and stuff that yeah, you know, discretion and whatnot. Everything has risks to an extent, but for the most part, you're going to be alright. And you only need 1 or 2 drops, no matter what you're doing. 1 or 2 drops, topically, internally, diffusing. Diffusing, I'd top out at like, if you do 1 oil, I would do 3 drops. If you do 2 oils, I would do 2 drops of each. I would probably top out at like 6 drops of whatever combination you got. So like, I wouldn't really use more than 6 drops of anything in a diffuser, no matter what you're doing. It's just wasteful. It's just wasteful. Like, you don't need that much. And that's our in a nutshell for how to use essential oils. If you have any questions, let me know. Earthandwater.co is where you can find me and more things. Social media is at earth and the word and _water. And it's like that across the board, no matter where you're looking, what social media, earth and _water. And that's all I've got for you. So Catch you next time.